known as the body scientist. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about detoxing. In case you don't know me, I am a nutritionist and an exercise physiologist, a trainer. I've been doing this for about 15 years now. And yes, I've been working with clients very closely for a long time. And when I work with my clients, I ask very detailed questions about what they've been doing over their whole life, childhood, past few years, eating habits, health problems, allergies, surgeries, medications. And I get a lot of information, okay? And there are things that I've observed and that I do observe when it comes to health because I work with people long term. So the issue of detoxing is like something that people, I see often. I think that a lot of people have extreme detox protocols that I wouldn't necessarily do. So this is just a brief discussion about detoxes. I'm not giving anybody any specific recommendations because I don't know you and I haven't worked with you. But I do recommend that if you are considering some type of detox, to see a detox specialist, somebody who really knows what they're doing, not somebody who is prescribing a one-size-fits-all type of detox. And I would also be mindful of the things that I'm about to mention. So when in the research that I find, I don't find a lot of information, like a lot of evidence of indigenous cultures fasting for long periods of time. Men did it for spiritual reasons, like in vision quests, like going off by themselves, not eating, and just so you can hear those voices. It wasn't necessary for women because that happens to us on our menstrual cycle. That happens to us during pregnancy and in labor. But that was something that men would do as part of the male path. But I don't know if that is being something that they did to try to cleanse. It was more of a spiritual thing. Now, in terms of popular things now, the master cleanse is one thing that people talk about a lot, where it's like consuming cayenne pepper and lemon juice. I've seen, scientifically, just what I know about science, I can't off the top of my head think of any, why that would work and why that would be an efficient way to cleanse yourself. I do think that it's a way of starvation because you're not getting any nutrients for a few days, and when your body goes without protein and without nutrients for a few days, it starts to eat itself, starts to eat your muscle. So somebody can go in a master cleanse and lose weight, but just because you lose weight doesn't mean that you're losing fat. You could be losing muscle, which is not good because that slows down your metabolism. You could just be dehydrating yourself. You could be losing weight, but it doesn't mean that it's fat. Now, I've seen a lot of people do the master cleanse for like 7 days, 10 days, 2 weeks. That's a long time to go without food. Not only do I not understand how people don't pass out, but it's shown over and over again that like just a couple days without food, and it depends on how much muscle you have to begin with and other factors, but just a couple days without protein and solid food, your body starts to eat itself, and that can really mess up your metabolism because when you lose muscle, your body thinks you're starving, and then when you eat again, it just automatically stores it as fat. So this is important to consider. A lot of people do the master cleanse because they're trying to lose weight really quick, but just know that it can further mess up your metabolism, and it's not something I would recommend if you're doing it for weight loss. It's not something I'd recommend if you're doing it for cleansing either. If I was going to do some type of fast where I wanted to let my digestive system rest and I wanted to cleanse out, I would do bone broth because bone broth is very healing to our gut. Gelatinous bone broth is very healing to the gut. It has easily absorbable proteins that your body's uptaking, so at least you're getting nutrition, you're getting stuff that's good for your digestion, for your gut, for a lot of essential nutrients and minerals. So you're going without food, but at least you're getting some nourishment. Whereas like if you're drinking juice is nothing but sugar, and sugar is the problem behind every goddamn thing. We need some sugar, we need some carbohydrates, but we don't need nearly as much of it as people think and as much as most of us consume. And it needs to be consumed with fat and protein. So when you're just having a whole bunch of juice, you're just putting all this sugar. Most of the antioxidants in juice are gone in a few minutes of air exposure. So drinking juice for a few days to me is a way to deplete your muscle. It's like a starvation diet and just flooding your body with sugar and affecting your blood sugar levels. It's not something that would be good for somebody who was a diabetic, for example, But with bone broth, you're not flooding your system with sugar. You're flooding your system with very absorbable minerals and amino acids things that support your gut health and your joints. And then the other thing I would consider doing is raw milk, like a raw milk fast for a couple of days, because raw milk is full of probiotics. And anybody who drinks raw milk, and I have videos on my YouTube page about raw milk and raw honey, you should check out. Raw milk is full of probiotics, and those probiotics help to cleanse out your gut. They help to keep your gut flora healthy. They help with digestion. And a lot of times when you drink a lot of raw milk, you'll start moving your bowels because the bacteria in it helps with peristalsis, which is the waves, in your stomach and intestines, to help you have a bowel movement and you cleanse out. And then you're getting really high quality protein, calcium, vitamin A, vitamin D, fats, which you also need for your gut and digestion, brain health, and carbohydrates. Like raw milk is like a full meal. Or maybe I do raw milk shake with an egg yolk in it, because again, the point is to let the digestive system rest, so it's not solid food, but it's very nutrient dense. Egg yolks have vitamin A and iron and high quality protein and fats. So I would do something like that, and only for like a couple days. I personally don't believe in like long detox protocols. I think that intermittent fasting is good. And I just feel like life does that to me. Kind of like with saunas, I'm not a fan of just going and sitting in a sauna. I just feel like I'll just be hot in the summertime, or when I'm someplace and it's hot, I'll just deal with being hot instead of jumping into the air conditioner. But I don't purposely go to the gym and go sit in the sauna. So, the same thing is true with intermittent fasting. There's times I'm traveling, I'm someplace and I just can't get food, and that's the day I'm fasting. Life will do that, and that is good for you sometimes. Sometimes you just may not feel that great, but I don't ever take like a week or recommend this to anybody. Any of my clients have like going a week without eating, and like no. Then there are lots of herbs that help support our liver and help to cleanse us out. When dealing with herbs, I highly recommend speaking to an herbalist. I don't ever recommend that someone just start dealing with herbs on their own unless it's something that you have family experience with, or you have experience with. You speak to an herbalist, because the recommendations for that can be very specific. But there are herbs that help cleanse out help support your liver and cleanse your liver, which is our main detoxification organ. So there's things like that. I would recommend seeing someone who does applied kinesiology, because they can do manual muscle tests to test exactly what you need. Exactly, detox protocols should be. They should be personalized for the individual. I'm also not a fan of like one size fits all herbal concoctions or one size fits all detox protocols. That everybody is different. Everybody is going through different things, has different, and if we don't look at them each individually, as its own organism, then you can cause problems with the one size fits all. Same thing with fitness. With fitness training. I've been a trainer forever. It's not a one size fits all thing. So be cautious of that. The other thing is colonics. I have mixed feelings about colonics, because I haven't seen in any indigenous cultures that people did that, and forcing water up into your bowel area. Like, I feel like your body will naturally detox and release things, but it starts in your gut health. So if your body's not doing that, your gut is off. And when you have a lot of good bacteria, it starts to release those things. You can do bone broth. I'm not gonna tell you what you should do, but I would do bone broth, raw milk, not juice and stuff like that. Maybe fermented, juice or something. But I definitely wouldn't do all juice. Also, raw milk and bone broth are high in potassium, which also is really important, especially when you're releasing a lot. So yeah, I've heard people say good things about colonics. I am not a huge fan of it. I think it can disturb your flora in your body, and like I said, I tend to do things that have been shown to work over generations. And I don't know about colonics, so I'm not going to say definitely no, but I'm also not saying definitely yes. So that's my 2 cents about detoxing. I'm not a detoxing expert, but I am a nutritionist, I'm an exercise physiologist, and I know about muscle physiology and metabolism. I know how not to destroy your metabolism, so I do not recommend long fast of like days of not eating food and just drinking juice and water. I don't recommend the master cleanse at all. Nothing about that makes sense, and I've never seen anything that proves the claims that it makes. The people that I see that do it all the time are usually just really chubby, and they're doing it to try to lose weight, and they stay chubby. I don't see anybody get lean off of doing that. There's no proof that it actually cleanses anything, so I'm not going to jump on that bandwagon. And another thing that's useful is bentonite clay. Putting it on your body, because when it becomes wet, it creates a negative charge that pulls toxins out of your body. Different indigenous cultures have consumed it as well to prevent food poisoning or to stop food poisoning, or for gut health as well. So it can also be ingested, or it can be put on externally, and it helps to pull toxins out. So I find that to be a very good way to just detoxify yourself. Yeah, but our body has its own detoxification system. So we want to do things, consume foods and consume herbs that help to strengthen and support our own detoxifying systems. We don't have to do, like these long starvation fasts that just throw your metabolism out of whack, and really you're just starving yourself. Okay, so I hope you find this video helpful. If you do, please join my YouTube page, check out my other videos, and share it. Thanks, people. Bye.